before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we say fuck this piece shit and grab them clappers? How long before we lose our voices shouting Black Lives Matter? How long we gon' keep letting them disrespect our president? How long we gon' keep letting them terrorize our residents? I'm sick of this shit, it's word to Bernie Mac. How long before we police ourselves, take our own streets back? How long for Uncle Tom here and hate on this shit? How long before they take a shot at me for making this shit? How long I gotta wait for justice for Josiah Shaw? How long we gotta fake it till we can take it and whack 'em all? How long we not gonna make these youngins pull their pants up? How long we gonna keep letting them shoot us down with our hands up? How long we gonna keep killing our own and making these streets hot? How long will what I say to you stay with you when the beat stop? How long's your attention span? How long you watch the news? You ain't down to shake shit up with the rebels for the cause? I ain't talking to you.
Yo, what's going on? Hey, everybody, what is good? Happy Sunday. Hope everything's good. We got through another weekend, about to start a whole another week. And last weekend ended with some bangs and pows and zooms and whams, man. Of course, that on Thursday, they came out with the verdict for Donald Trump, finding him guilty on all 34 cockamamie, ridiculous bullcrap charges of paperwork, which the more that I think about it, the more that I feel like this was an elaborate setup orchestrated by Michael Cohen in order to gain leverage in Donald Trump's life so that he could go to the White House. I don't think that Donald Trump did anything wrong. I mean, if you were to put him in jail for this, then you would need to put the lady who keeps the books in jail as well, and they're not going to do that. How would this man, after all those years of service of this woman doing her job the same way, the same time, telling her how to do her job when it comes to how to log things, especially when you receive a ledger stating that. Now, Michael Cohen never admitted or said that was how Donald Trump told him to put that on a ledger. He put it down as a legal fee. He knew what the hell it was, but he used that as leverage to try to, befriend himself to Donald Trump's life, period. I mean, there's no other way for me to explain that. I mean, if you are willing to mortgage your home for someone else, then you are really trying to get in their good graces, man. And I don't know anybody in this world that I would mortgage my home for. I mean, I don't think I would do that for myself, man. So it's really, really interesting when we start to get into the whole hyperbole of this and how this all went down. I mean, it's not at all a fair trial, man. We still don't know from this moment to the next what he's actually being charged with. It could be election interference. It could be a Federal Election Commission's violation. It could be taxes. He gave the judge literally gave the jury a 5-card or 3-card Monte basic of charges, and you show me the man, I'll show you the crime. That's it. That's all. I'm gonna lead you to the conviction where you have no choice but to convict. It's not on, and of course anything that was exculpatory or anything that he could have done for himself in order to, like the Castillo guy. If he could have gotten him to be a witness where he wasn't badgered by the judge, then, I would say he would have had a puncher's chance. But, we're here now. Since the verdict, donations have been going through the roof for this man. He's getting standing ovations at UFC events. He's still out there doing interviews, and he's very, 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 very calm in his demeanor. And if he ain't tripping, why should we? We should be willing to fight just as hard as he is and be able to keep our calm and cool unless they lock him up. And if they lock him up, I expect for everybody to act a fool. I'm just saying. I'm expecting it. I'm not predicting it. I'm not asking you to, but I kind of know the powder keg that we're sitting on. I can definitely see it. So without further ado, I got to bring up my homie. You know what I'm saying? The man that is Mr. Joe Biden's uncle, Uncle Bosey's pilot, man.
What's up? And I'm the navigator.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Still
Joe
don't know where that plane
by himself.
Yeah, man. So what are you thinking? Give me a temperature check.
Man, well, I think I just put it in the chat, and so that's my summary for the whole thing. Is that we're going to probably spend a lot of time talking about this Democrat comedy, show that's just blowing up in their face right now. I mean, the dude has gone up 6 points in the first 12 hours. He got $30 million from more than 1 million new and unique donators.
Oh dams, oh dams, oh dams, you dirty dams.
And then the last update that I heard is that he's upwards of $70 million. And my initial thought, once all the donations started rolling in, there's that big surge and then it starts slowing down. No, the dude has more than doubled it in the last 24 hours.
I wonder how many people saw him at that UFC fighting.
I'll tell you what.
They snatched up their phones.
Man. And that was at 2:00 in the morning.
What, when he walked in? Yeah, when he walked in there.
Yeah. And so, and the only reason, can you imagine Joe Biden at 2:00 in the morning?
Yeah, he's walking around the White House naked.
Dude, yeah. Yeah.
Walking around the White House naked, man. And like I said, it's crazy to me because people don't even realize, if you break it down to common sense, it's a simple. Michael Cohen was setting them up for a different reason.
Yeah, and that's really the only portion of your intro that I had an exception with, because it wasn't what was the verbiage that you used? Something orchestrated. Indicating that it was like this masterful plan and that sort of, but it wasn't, because everybody sees.
It wasn't a masterful plan, definitely.
It was. I think the word you might have used was elaborate. I'd have to go back and look, but it wasn't, because it's all in our faces. Nobody is so stupid unless they have full blown derangement syndrome to fall for this garbage. Not even CNN.
Who mortgages their house for another man?
The dude that is trying to secure himself a place in the White House.
You know how much shit he probably started in his house? On a human level, do you know how much shit he probably started in his house with his wife doing that shit?
Well, the way I understood it, she didn't know anything about it until way after the fact. And so he even kept it from her.
So imagine that.
Yeah.
He kept it from her for a reason, man.
Again, yeah.
He kept it from her for a freaking reason, dude. I mean, basically, his whole thing was, I'm going to get power. He wanted some semblance of the power that Trump had.
Well, I think he was just trying to create and resolve, his own situation in order to make himself look good. He was brown nosing to the nth degree is what he was doing. Mm-hmm. But when it came time for him to get whatever job he thought he was supposed to get, and that didn't happen, then now all of a sudden this is ammunition for him to try to to go after Trump, because
I did all this shit for this man, and he
I mean, the long and short of it is that they've had a long time to work on Cohen and make him flip and that sort of thing, and then the dude has already been convicted of lying. So I mean, he constantly says and does those things that he thinks are going to be to his advantage and make him look good. The problem is that he's not a particularly smart man, and so these things contradict one another. Yeah.
not. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, the man's testimony tells you enough.
Yeah. And so this is the character of the individual who is, the witness for these made up misdemeanors that they turned into made up felonies. You know,
Right. It's crazy as hell.
yeah. Oh, and the porn star. Don't forget about the porn star. That I actually suspect that Michael Cohen was banging.
Yeah.
I mean, so because at least initially, I think they were kind of in on it to try to, do their best to flip on Trump and that sort of thing. So I know they've had conversations before. The trouble is that, like I said, we're not working with rocket scientists here.
Absolutely.
And definitely not working with rocket scientists on the side of the prosecution.
Right. Mr. Yellow Beezy, what's going on tonight?
Oh, man, not much. Everything
What's
good.
up, man?
What's up? Told you I was going to get in when I got home.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Man, that verdict, man, it's helping them.
Yep, it sure is. It sure is.
I mean, before they even had an opportunity to ask, are you going to vote for a convicted felon? He had $34 million in his pocket.
You damn right I am. Shit.
Like, does that answer your question before you ask it? Nothing's changed. If anything, it's gotten worse for you. You look like bullies, man. You look like bullies.
He gained 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
You look
I heard
like
he raised
bullies.
Over.
Absolute 100%.
And $70 million.
$100 million according to Truth Social.
Oh, there we go. There's the latest update. He's up to 100 now.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I bet you they're like, man, we can't do that. We can't even draw a crowd of 75 people in the room.
Now, of that 100 million, one of the numbers that I am really interested in is how many new unique donators there are in that 100 million. Because when he was at 30 million, there were over 1 million new unique donators.
And then it jumped to 50. Then it jumped to 52 million. Now it's 100 million.
Yeah. So I would like to know how many of those are small donations from just regular people like you and me. You know what I mean? Because I'll bet it's a group.
They keep on playing. He gonna have $1 billion this week.
Yeah.
As soon as I get paid,
he's gonna have $1 billion in 1 week.
Yeah. Now,
as soon as I get paid, he got my donation for sure.
I also heard a rumor that they're getting donations from people who aren't even American citizens. They're coming from overseas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy.
Wow.
They let you know who they standing with.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Hey, Donna spoke to me. Hey, Donna, how you doing over there?
Yep. Trump said, the real verdict will be November 5th. That's for sure.
So one of the things, like I said, that delighted me was the fact that after all of this and after nobody they were anticipating it's surviving R. Kelly all over again.
Yep.
But the problem is there's more coverage. People are more in tune. This is a black and a white thing, where R. Kelly was more so a black thing, where more black people were in tune to the outcome and all that shit. But trust me, anybody Caucasian that I've brought this shit to has brought up due process, right to fair and speedy trial, bad act evidence, all these things that have happened in Trump's trial. Like, what the hell? I'm like, you sped the trial up to make it unfair, so that you can try to get a conviction before the convention. But the Republican National Council is planning on announcing him as the nominee at the beginning of July, probably Independence Day.
Yeah. And they were trying to do a sentencing 4 days before.
So what they're trying to do, they're trying to prevent people from even, they're like, they don't even want him to be nominated. And I'm sure that if we sentence him, then that's going to be the icing on the cake. They keep on shooting themselves in the foot with their own gun, man.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me. It's crazy.
It's very crazy.
He do that, and then he decide, hey, I ain't, and he ain't hiding. It's like, The man is not hiding. You're not going to make this man crawl under some rock, bro. He ain't even built like that, man. He's not going to crawl under a rock. He's not going to stop. You messed up poorly. You messed up royally when you sit up here and try to deal with one of America's finest. You know, you tried to deal with an icon. You know, I'm talking about the icon of most icons, because you know R. Kelly's an icon, but if he had some money, he might have been able to deal with this shit. They crippled that man.
Freezes his finances and seizes his
profit. They crippled him, but Donald Trump actually has the money. He has the exposure of not just America, not just Africa, not, you know, he has the world watching this shit. The absolute world, and people all over the country are outraged. People in Britain are outraged. You got people in Saskatchewan, Canada, pissed off. You got you done pissed off so many people, and now how many businesses have left New York already? Like 160 something.
Yeah, because the guy from Shark Tank said he is not doing business in New York anymore.
They leave and they like, bro, because if you don't like me, you're gonna try to subpoena all my records, and you're gonna prosecute a person and not a crime. There was no police investigations in these things. There was no federal investigation into this bullshit. No. They got all his books, every check he done wrote, every shit he done took, and then they siphoned through all that shit to try to.
And then they still came up with nothing,
just to try to find a crime. And then when they couldn't find one, they just made one up. Either way, they was going to convict him because they just want to say convicted felon. But if you want to say convicted felon, you got to show people something more than a porn star and somebody who stole from them. Nobody's buying that shit. Nobody's buying it at all. And, you know, like I said, the man is strong because you got to think about, he goes out and, you know, I'll just say it out loud. Once we do our first video, cameras off. That's how we roll. You know that, the yellow bees, you know that shit. But, you know, we got my man out here going into venues and events, man, and this happens.
45. Being ushered in by UFC CEO Dana White. Donald Trump is in the building, and the former president getting a standing ovation from the assembled masses here at UFC 302.
It ain't nobody in the room booing. Ain't that some shit? Nobody in the fucking room.
Nobody.
You know what? And the man looks natural amongst the people. He is the modern day Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's got to charge you back up. You know,
going up against the establishment.
You know what? You make me want to put on my Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt since you want to bring up this name.
Say, shoot. But you talking about your Psalms 3:16. What did Trump's 3:16 say? This is beautiful, man. Look at this.
Well, you had a sneaking suspicion that former President Trump would be in the building for UFC 302. He is a rabid mixed martial arts fan. I kind of feel like he's betting on these fights when he's not actually here.
I mean, the crowd going insane like he about to fight.
Yeah. He's been fighting. That's what they're going insane about.
He's the champion right now to me.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Boy, the round of applause he's getting right now is pretty staggering. And you had to imagine that's what was going to happen. Thank you, sir.
All those cameras up. People just want a glimpse. You think anybody break their camera out to see Joe Biden keep his way anywhere?
Shit.
Maybe for
you know what that place would sound like if Joe Biden walked in.
Maybe for Joe Biden just to have a world star when he busts his ass.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. That's all.
Donald Trump with us here in the broadcast booth, just moments away from UFC 302, live on pay-per-view. Back-to-back years for the UFC here in Newark, New Jersey. The fan response has been absolutely insane, and they are happy to share this moment.
Look, you see that emotion?
Yeah.
You see that? That's the first time I've ever seen that in his eye.
Mm-hmm. Sure, Dana White showing you who he stands with.
You see that shit, Noobs?
Mm-hmm.
That's real emotion in his eyes. Like,
I'm telling you all, he's gonna take New York. He's gonna flip New York.
he's like, I'm about to fucking cry, y'all.
He's on a mission.
I'm serious. Look at him though, man, for real.
Yep.
That's real shit.
Well,
I'm like, I'm dead. That's real emotion right there.
And don't forget, it's 2:00 in the freaking morning.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Trump. Let's go.
The former President Donald Trump here.
That's cool shit, man. Like I said, the man is a better man than most people could ever claim to try to be. You can go ahead and forget about it. You can forget about it. The dude is like just better than the rest, man. Seriously.
Oh yeah.
He's better than the rest, man.
Mm-hmm. Wonder what they'll see him go to a WWE event. Let's see how that'll go.
Raucous.
Oh yeah.
Raucous. It'll be great.
He been on there a few times.
Had a whole storyline, man. It was damn good. He was handling himself on the mic then.
Oh yeah.
Handling himself on the mic then. I mean, it was good stuff, man. You know, and you can only appreciate a man who's not hiding.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
He ain't hiding. Ain't nobody wanting the presidency that damn bad that they're gonna put themselves through all of this shit. He just wants power and he wants to be a dictator on day one. They literally talked that lie into that statement that he made. That I'll be a dictator on day one. I'm going to close the border. I'm going to drill, baby, drill. Other than that, I'm not going to be a dictator. They took it and they cut it on their own. He wanted to be a dictator from day one. Not even what he said. These people are absolute liars, man. It's absolutely ridiculous at this point.
Exactly.
Like, it's confession through projection is the term you're looking for.
Absolutely. I mean, they're liars. They want to be the dictators.
Yep.
They want to be the ones to tell you and mandate your job that if you don't get a vaccine, if something come up, then you can't work no fucking more.
I didn't even get the vaccine.
Those are those people.
I didn't even get the vaccine.
Scaring the hell out of everybody. You know, and it's absolutely freaking ridiculous, man. It's like, what are you guys doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? What is the real modus operandi?
Yeah.
Especially if you claim that you're not trying to destroy the country, because you are.
Mm-hmm.
You are literally murdering our country with the LGBTQ agenda, with the Black Lives Matter agenda, with the we're gonna let anybody in agenda. We're gonna put men and women's sports agenda. We're just gonna eliminate male and female bathrooms agenda. We gonna have you can call yourself, you know, you can put a dog collar on yourself and now you're a fucking puppy.
And don't forget my favorite. We're gonna make all your kids gay.
Absolutely.
And tell them that they tell your son that he a girl.
Mm-hmm. Because
we know Dwayne Wade's voting for Biden.
Of course. He's an ass kisser. He's a liberal. Always been. Howard Hill is a liberal too. He an ass kisser too. Man, Howard Hill is happy as hell that Trump is guilty. I'm like,
Howard Hill?
Yeah.
The singer?
From Shalimar.
Oh man, get your frou-frou.
Mm-hmm.
Boy.
That's why
it's kind of weird. You know, a weird segue about that. You know, Jody Watley was in Shalimar. And her sister was more famous and had a longer career than her. Her sister is Michelle Watley, aka Midori XXX.
Hey, LA in the house.
Hey, you know who it is.
Yeah.
Y'all know who Midori is. I think she got to be about 60 at this point in my life.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Jody is like 66, I think.
Yeah. So we're gonna dive into some Trump interview.
Mm-hmm.
We're on Fox and Friends, and we're gonna go ahead and kind of
That's a great interview
do what we do and break. And I got 2 sections, so we're gonna break this thing on down, okay? And I'm sure that if you have not seen it, anybody who's in my on Rumble, on X, on Twitter, YouTube, whatever.
I saw some of those interviews. I follow Fox. So
this is a man who not just got humbled, but he is. They just don't want to make he's brash, but he has humility. Donald Trump is a human being, people, in case y'all didn't realize it.
Thank you.
We had to say that shit about R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
He's a human being. He's a human being. You all are objectifying this man. He's not an object for you to poke and prod at and play with, slap the fuck around. It's not. That's not it.
They were so happy when he got sacrificed.
But
he gonna come back.
It's crazy. And the crazy thing is, like, people seeing the injustice and reacting to it the same way we reacted to R. Kelly back in the day. And I'm reacting to this too, but I'm reacting in a different way because I was freaking pissed. I damn near had to leave work.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't believe it. This, I just was like, I kind of knew they came back too damn fast.
And this verdict is going to.
There's only 2 outcomes from the outset.
Yeah.
There was only 2 possible outcomes from the outset: a hung jury or a guilty verdict, because it was stacked that way.
And remember that video when they was asking Joe Biden about it, and he had a smirk on his face. I'm like, you bastard.
Hey, and don't go home and watch the news. Wink, wink. Jury. Don't. No. Bullshit.
And
so Fox and Friends, you all.
All right, let's get it.
Giving a master class in how to interview and how to look presidential. He's never looked more presidential to me in my life. I'm telling you. This year he's coming to his presidential nature.
Yeah, and he has sacrificed his fame and fortune for this country.
Yeah.
And I give him applause for that.
The man's still stupid rich now.
Same with Ronald Reagan. He sacrificed that too.
He's absolutely wealthy. So let's go ahead, Mr. Trump. Let's go.
Freedom, you fight for your country. These people are sick. They're sick. They're deranged. I talk about the enemy on the outside and the enemy from within. So you have Russia, you have China. But if you have a smart president, you always handle him quite easily, actually. We have a lot of advantages. But the enemy from within, they are doing damage to this country. They want open borders. They want high interest rates. They now want to quadruple your taxes. Quadruple. All my life I watch politics.
That's Boston Tea Party type of shit. Don't you fuck with my taxes like that.
And we've talked about that before too. And people forget that is how this country kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
Because we are now once again facing taxation without representation.
Yeah.
And we're also facing a time in America where you got to get the king's permission to do jack shit. That is not how this country was supposed to be.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
If you want to step outside of your backyard without interfering with or harming another person and shoot a 50 caliber machine gun that's fully automatic, then you should be able to do that. And that's just a reference.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Moving along.
And it was always like politicians want to lower taxes, not quadruple them. There's a whole sickness going on right now. So we're doing really well. It was a tough venue. We tried to get out of the venue. We tried to get out of the judge. But we tried to get out of both. Wouldn't even think about it. So we had maybe the worst area in the whole country for me, in terms of vote. I'm sure if I sat down and explained it to that section of the world, we could probably make progress. But one of the worst sections, and they always bring them in these sections, you know, D.C., there, places where Republicans, not just me, Republicans get like virtually no votes. But the good news is that I think we've set a record beyond all records for fundraising. That's like a poll. And another one just came out just before I got in that we're 6 points higher than we were before. So I don't know if that holds up. I mean, I'm just not sure. But people get it. It's a scam. And the Republican Party is really, they've stuck. They stick together in this. They see it's weaponization of the Justice Department, of the FBI. And, you know, that's all coming out of Washington. You may think it's brag.
We know it's not brag.
Not brag, yeah.
We know good damn well it's not even Biden. It's the Attorney General.
It's the previous regime before Biden.
Piece of James, right?
Whether you believe that is Obama or whoever has their hands up Obama's butt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, there's some strings being pulled that ain't got nothing to do with Biden, man.
Right.
You know, because we are getting invaded, man. This is the stupidest thing to ever do to your border.
And he's a clueless bastard. You know, I'm sure that he's probably all in for the parts that he remembers and understands and that sort of thing. You know, don't get me wrong. I am not under the false impression is that Biden is a well-meaning old man by any stretch. I ain't falling for that fucking bullshit even more than I fall for Biden economics. But he's not all there, obviously, and we know that he's not the one that's actually pulling the strings.
Yeah, Obama's pulling the strings along with the help of George Soros. That's
and whoever else is running Obama's show. You know, those folks that invented Obama, and we can go all the way back to the World Economic Forum and BlackRock, and you know just how far back you want to go, and pick out those folks. You know. And if you've ever read any of, you know, like the Follow the Money books about the Clintons and that sort of thing, oh, my goodness. I mean, you see all these companies that are involved.
Right. It's amazing, man. It is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Take a look at who opened the case. I'm not allowed to talk about it because I have a gag order. I'm probably, I guess, the first presidential nominee and
the first defendant.
The leading crooked Joe by a lot that's not allowed to talk. Maybe they're doing me a big favor. Who knows? But I'm not allowed to talk. I'm gagged. Nobody's ever heard of it. It's all coming out. It's weaponization, and it's a very dangerous thing. We've never had that in this country. They do have it in other countries, in South American countries. You know a little bit about it, right?
Well, that actually leads me to my question. I think for a lot of Americans, what's happened to you feels foreign. Like this is never.
Imagine if he didn't have that gag on, man.
Woo.
He would have been railing on Stormy Daniels' ass.
Well, not just Stormy Daniels, but
Michael Cohen. Oh my God!
And Judge Merkin and his entire criminal enterprise family, including that whatever offspring of his that's down there making money for the DNC off of the trial.
She needs to be arrested too.
Well, Mike Johnson did kind of expose Judge Merkin a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's been exposed, man. Anytime your daughter making $96 million, I wonder what his net worth is.
Mr.
Mershon.
Yeah, we'll have to dig into that a little bit. Let's put a pin in that.
Absolutely. Let's see what he's worth. How much money he got as a judge, as a district judge.
Mm-hmm.
You know. All right, let's go.
Never happened here before.
Yeah.
But for Hispanic Americans, people coming from Latin America, this feels very familiar.
Yeah.
And in those countries, people are imprisoned. You know, instead of going to the ballot box and fighting there, they're on house arrest. They're told they can't run for office. What is your message? And by the way, I think a lot of Hispanic Americans, I hear from them, they're scared about what they see. What's your message to them about what happened to you and about how scared they are that our country is turning into the countries that they left behind, the corrupt, dysfunctional countries they left behind?
And they are scared, and they're great people, and very entrepreneurial, great energy. And as you know, I'm doing very well with them. I mean, beyond anybody, I don't think anybody's ever had
Do you
polling.
think this is why, a little bit?
I think a little bit. And they've always liked me, and I've always liked them. You know, I've done well from the beginning. In 2016, I won the entire border along
That is true.
Texas, and they're all like 85%. And it's been great from the beginning, and now I'm leading. I think I'm leading over this guy that can't put two sentences together, that's destroying our country. Look, he's the worst president in the history of this country, and he's a danger to the country. And, you know, they have misinformation. Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. It's just words. He doesn't even know what it means. But it's like their slogan, I'm a threat to democracy. I'm the opposite. They're the threat to democracy.
Mr. President, I want to return to the verdict, and I want to explore something you said several times already in the conversation. You've referenced these people. I'm sure you've seen the video of Joe Biden when he was asked about the verdict, and he gave sort of a smirk to the camera.
Terrible. Remember, Bragg didn't want to do the case. He came out. He said, there's no case, and how can you have a witness like so-and-so? I'm not allowed to mention the name. Can you believe this? This guy's allowed to have shows, television shows. I'm not allowed to mention the name. It's so unfair. But regardless, you know, you have to really play the hand that you're dealt. And then you had a jury that was, you know, from a certain persuasion. Would have been hard to do no matter what. But I did absolutely nothing wrong. I mean, absolutely. Think of it. You know, I hate when they say a bookkeeping, this and that. It's not.
Yeah, that's the same point that I made when we were talking before the show. Exactly the same thing. Because even the people that are on, you know, Trump's side or whatever, you know, the talking heads, various talking heads, you know, they say, oh, well, you know, bookkeeping crimes. No, bullshit. That was manufactured. It's not real. It did not happen. And he did not make this mistake.
It wasn't even a mistake.
No, it wasn't a mistake. I mean, and like you said earlier during your introduction, if anybody were to have made a mistake, it would have been the person who was hired to make these entries. But that person accurately reflected the amount of money and what it was for. And so she did her job. That does not somehow just miraculously become a misdemeanor on the part of Trump and then miraculously get elevated, you know, to the level of a felony. It's all bullshit.
Right. And since when does a state
you prosecute a federal crime, supposedly?
And don't even give you the federal crime.
Yeah. We don't even know what we convicted him for, you know.
You got people on the street talking about this because he's a liar. He got convicted because he's a liar, and he lied. And
then 55 pages. So, you know, of course, you know, the next I don't know, whatever. The next episode of this saga is going to be sentencing. And then the file for appeal and probably some kind of injunction or you know, something like that until the outcome of the appeal. And, you know, in my thought process in all of this has been, you know, kind of the same thing. Where in the hell is the Supreme Court? Where in the hell is the state attorney general? You know what I mean? Where are these people and why aren't they not doing their jobs?
Right, because on certain situations, they can definitely step in and say, whoa.
I mean, really? I mean, is this how the state of New York wants to go down?
You are destroying the Constitution.
Blatantly, not even trying to hide it anymore.
It's right in our face.
You're literally taking a whiz on it.
Yeah.
Because screw the Constitution. We're going to do what we want to do.
And the rule of law, you know, because we don't need that either. All we need is for, you know, is to manufacture whatever piece of scumbag crap we can into a jury pool, give them a limited amount of information and a limited set of instructions to which they don't get a copy of, and slap the podium every 5 minutes to indicate to the jury that this man needs to be found guilty. Blow me.
And then you find him guilty. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Because
somebody said he was doing that shit.
And I can't wait until all the information about jury tampering comes out, because that is going to be something else.
And we need
it's going to come out.
And we need that same information for Cal's out too. Hopefully that'll come out as well.
Yep.
Because
I think that, like I said, I'm not going to ever stray away from this. I believe in my heart that they use that as a precedence with R. Kelly to charge anybody with any fucking thing. They use the method that they use to try to taint people against them. You know, same way. You know, same style but different way.
Yeah.
You know, of course, using the media to dehumanize somebody.
Yeah,
that's why.
And I will say that they definitely used, for lack of a better term, their successes in that case against Donald Trump.
Yes. Yes, because they were able to do some wild shit in this case.
So yeah, definitely like a dry run kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? Although we have talked about instances even further back in history where the same kinds of things have been done.
Everybody in that courtroom that was on the prosecutor's side was Dems. Even the judge.
Well, and probably under threat too, because you got to remember, you know, that person that decides to be the voice of common sense or whatever, and they end up with a hung jury, they're going to have to leave the state. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Isn't Judge Merkin from another country or something?
I think I remember hearing something about that. It's not something I concentrated on.
You know, the crazy thing with all of this is this. Like I said, when you watched the trial of R. Kelly and you watched the injustice, you know, when you listen just like, you know, this one, and I don't understand if it's high profile and it's about the people. Why aren't the people able to see it?
You know, I think a lot of people are able to see it now.
No, I'm talking about on television. There was no reason R. Kelly's trial couldn't have been televised. There's no reason Donald Trump's couldn't have been.
No. There is no reason other than, well, we do know that there is a reason. It's just not a legit one.
It's fake justice with a
right.
You know, with a mask on.
Right.
You know, you'd rather have somebody, you know, write shit down, which 9 times out of 10 is accurate. They can't record any fucking thing.
You know, you got a court record. You know, they still got stenographers in there, and
but to see the reaction of Mershon when
Costello, yeah. And for that, I think you have to rely on, you know, eyewitnesses and court reporters. But I'd still agree 100%. It should totally be televised.
Yes. Yeah. We need to know what really happened in that courtroom.
And
if no jury gets interviewed within the next week, I'm gonna have a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Because you're hiding. You're hiding.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you?
I mean,
yeah, on that jury, I mean, I would have no problem. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, these people on this jury, you know, these are hand selected, and so they don't just get like media pressure and that sort of thing. They get like family pressure and friend and neighbor pressure
for 7 days to barbecues and shit.
What's that got to do with it, though?
It's for their family members and friends to coerce because they know they had jury duty.
That's what I'm saying, though. I mean, they'd have to leave the state if they were the one that hung the jury. You know, so you got to deal with that kind of pressure, too. Because you know they're going to get, you know, swatted, whatever that is, you know, whenever they throw all your information out there and that sort of deal. Yeah, there we go. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, doxed and shit. Yeah.
You know, and so I'm just saying there was lots of pressure for them to just go with the flow and return the verdict that Judge Merkin wanted.
Absolutely. And then you never know what type of conversation may have been had
Off
at
the
any
record.
point, at any
Right.
point off the record.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
By anybody.
You know, if y'all don't come back with a guilty verdict, it's gonna be a fucking problem, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're sitting there eating your popcorn, looking at the YouTubes or whatever, and then, two dudes that look like they're from the Men in Black movie come knocking on your door.
You just made me look at my door.
Right?
Oh man, let's keep going.
Expense. I use the word expense. Legal expense. I pay a lawyer. He wasn't a fixer. He was a lawyer at the time. I pay a lawyer, and he's a lawyer. It's called legal expense. A bookkeeper, without ever speaking to me because she did the right thing, who's been with me for years, marks it down as legal expense. In other words, I paid a legal expense. It's marked down as a legal expense. And they say that's a fraud. What am I going to call it? Did you ever see a ledger? Do you ever study accounting? The line's like about an inch long and 1/8 of an inch wide. You can't write the story. But there is no story. Exactly. If you pay a legal expense and you write it down as a legal expense, and then they indict you and they go to a grand jury, and they don't use Bob Costello's testimony, they use almost none of it. They didn't want him before the grand jury because he's very persuasive. This judge didn't want him to talk. They shouldn't have allowed certain people to testify. It was totally wrong that they did that. So everyone tells me this is the easiest case they've ever seen to overturn, but they don't care because they want to last till after the election. Now, the only problem they have is that so far my poll numbers have gone up. You explain this to me because I don't. Pete maybe can explain it. Maybe Will. I don't know. Maybe Will can. They're smart in Texas, right? But the poll numbers have gone up substantially. I don't know if that's going to remain that way.
You changed your tone at some point during the trial. I would say maybe a bit more hopeful in the beginning, and then towards the end you said something to the effect of even Mother Teresa couldn't be acquitted in this venue. Was there a moment in the trial that you felt like it turned or you saw that it was headed in a certain direction?
I bet you it was when he did Costello the way he did it. I bet you that. That's for sure. Like when Judge Mershon did him the way that he did him, I know he was like, y'all fucked. He don't even want him to talk. I believe that. What you guys think?
I believe it. Yeah.
We talking about?
He was literally saying, that. Well, let's peel it back. Just let's see.
I would say maybe a bit more hopeful in the beginning, and then towards the end you said something to the effect of even Mother Teresa couldn't be acquitted in this venue. Was there a moment in the trial that you felt like it turned or you saw that it was headed in a certain direction?
And I believe that was when Costello got up there. Even through all the objections and all of that shit, when he did Costello the way that he did him, that turned the trial on its ear.
Well, and then the thing that I think, I've heard it mentioned, but I don't think it gets mentioned enough, is that Donald Trump is supposedly the defendant in this case.
Yeah.
He should be able to bring any witness to his defense that he wants to. The burden of proof is on the state, not on Donald Trump. And they haven't proved jack shit.
He couldn't be an expert. He couldn't do anything. It's crazy.
That's a violation of the constitutional rights.
Yep. So
you have the right to put up a substantial defense for yourself.
Exactly. You can't stop this man from talking about his own defense. Where the fuck does that come from?
Crazy, man. It's crazy. Well, that's the same thing they did to R. Kelly. So, I'm pretty, once again, the similarities, we talked about it in episodes that I may have to re-upload so that we can see this again.
Yeah. It's like playing in a casino where all the machines are fixed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but shit, it seemed like he hit the jackpot with Jesus. Man, this man, the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah.
Remember that, people. Remember that shit. Remember that and that's not my words. That was from Donald Trump's rally speech in the Bronx.
But when you object to something, your lawyers object, good lawyers, professional lawyers, good records, nice people. I've had a lot of lawyers that weren't nice, and sometimes you're better off that way. These are really fine people. They'd object. Not accepted, not accepted, not accepted. When the government, meaning the DA, Bragg, when he said something, all right, good, that's fine. Go on, more. But the main thing is this, that this was turned down by the Southern District. This is over years. This could have been brought 7 years ago. You know, they tried to rush it because they wanted it before the election. But this could have been brought 7 years ago, but they didn't have any intention. A case like this has never been brought before. And there's never been a case where a state has gone after a federal election. In other words, that's for a federal. That's for like the Southern District to go. Southern District turned it down. We got clearance from the FEC, Federal Election Commission, clearance. They're suing, saying we violated a thing, but they gave us clearance. But the charge was written, I mean, it was like a weird charge. You'd have a little of this, a little of that, do a little of this, throw a little, mix it up.
You've set the arraignment date for 4 days before the RNC.
Yeah, well, that's part of the game.
It is. Some have suggested you could appeal straight to the Supreme Court because of the special nature of this case. When it comes to the legal maze that you're still facing, and the judge could decide to say, hey, house arrest or even jail. How do you face what that could look
I'm
like?
okay with it. I saw one of my lawyers the other day on television saying, oh, no, you don't want to do that to the president. I said, you don't beg for anything. You just, the way it is. Think of it. They have all my books. You know, they went to, for 5 years, they sued me getting my tax returns, right? At the end of 5 years, they got them. The Supreme Court actually gave it to them. That was the end of it. That was it. They never found anything. They hired the best accounting firms. I had a pure gold firm. They call it a gold-rated firm. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Who knows? But with all that stuff, for years you heard about my tax.
They never looked into the Clinton Foundation.
And they never found it. They never went all the way with the Clinton Foundation. They never went all the way with the Clinton Foundation.
They definitely didn't.
Nope. Dropped it like a hot potato.
Definitely didn't. They didn't go all the way with it.
They got some.
About 30,000 emails being whitewashed. Never went all the way with it. It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Foundation, which is sort of interesting, isn't it? But so that could happen. I don't know that the public would stand it. You know, I'm not sure the public would stand for it. With a,
if they tried house arrest or
I think it would be tough for the public to take. You know, at a certain point, there's a breaking point.
People ask you, why do you do this? How can you do this? I mean, not to mention the rally after rally, the energy. But maybe the question isn't how do you do this over and over, but how does your family do this? All the other.
That's a damn good question, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
How's your family handling this? Because there's other people involved, man. Joe Biden don't have no family, I don't think. Because I don't never see him.
He has minions.
I have never seen his daughter around, and judging by that book, I know why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he doesn't have family. He has minions.
Crazy, man. It's crazy. It is crazy. I'm telling you.
Obstacles. You know, these are things you care about. Your ambitions for the country. What about everybody around you?
So I think in many ways it's tougher on them than it is on me. They're good people, all of them, everyone. I have a wonderful wife who has to listen to this stuff all the time. They do that for this reason. They do that, all these salacious names that they put in of these people.
It's literally not even trying to destroy him just politically.
Right.
They want to destroy this man's life. They want him to lose his wife. They don't want his kids talking to him. They want to lock all of his kids up damn near. It's sick. Even somebody saying, well, Barron's about to be 18. He'll be fair game.
Well, what do you expect from a bunch of Satan worshipers, though? You know what I'm saying?
My goodness.
And so, you know, once we get our mind straight that that's actually what we're dealing with, then it you know what I mean?
Oh, it is clear. It's clear as a bell. I mean, there are forces.
But we're still, you know, we still make these you know, small gasps whenever the next stupid thing that they do drops, you know, because I think the initial reaction is still like one of surprise. It's like, man, I feel like Joe Pesci when he's like, oh, you were serious about that? You know what I mean? It's like, what's the next comic line you got for this show?
Look, man, all I know is I'm tired of bearing witness. And even though this is the reason for my podcast, is injustices like this, I'm so sick of this shit.
Yeah, and I mean, we were warned so many times that this would happen.
I mean, I knew it. I tried to be optimistic.
Yeah, I know. And you know, during the 80s and 90s and everything, people just got comfortable and complacent. And you know, and so this is the result of that. And so now people are starting to wake up again.
I mean, but how can people say that the justice system isn't rigged and has not been rigged ever?
Yeah.
When you saw, okay.
And now it's not just even a question of being rigged. It's not even real anymore.
But
it's completely fake.
But think about it. We saw, and not because it was cops on a black man, but it's just right from wrong. You saw Rodney King get the holy hell beat out of him on camera.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody walked. That's not justice. At a point that was excessive. Now, I agree with Trump when he said you need to let the cops be able to do their job.
Yeah.
But that shit, nah.
Right.
That's not your job.
Yeah. In that particular situation, they had all the ability to subdue that man without breaking every bone in his body. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they fucked him. Jesus. Mm-hmm. Right.
Those aren't the kind of people that we want in law enforcement, but those are the kind of people that we keep hiring into law enforcement.
Yeah, we hired that guy that got bullied in school all his life.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he gets, the badge and the gun, he becomes the bully, but he's over the top with it.
Yep. The most dangerous dog in the world is the one that's scared.
Absolutely. Just like that guy that shot that man in Florida at his apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Put 5 in him and the gun was never pointed at him. Crazy.
Yeah. And I'm not even allowed to defend myself because of a gag order. Think of it. But they put this stuff in to create havoc. These are bad people. I know everything they're doing. I know every move they make. I get it. But a lot of people don't. But
that's the problem. He knows too much.
Oh, yeah. And
why do you think they were scrambling to get classified documents from his house?
Well, I think it was because they wanted to pin him up. And that was the sole purpose.
Yeah, and I think it was multi-purpose.
Well, they already had copies of everything that he had, so it's not like they were retrieving anything to fill a hole.
They didn't want him to be able to present anything as proof of fuckery.
And then, of course, about my other existing theory.
Okay.
And the other existing theory is that there is still one notebook in particular that is out in the breeze.
Oh yeah.
And when Donald Trump becomes president, I think we're going to find out more about this notebook.
Absolutely. We're going to have part 2 of this in a minute. We're going to finish this one out, and then we'll do part 2 in a few minutes. And we're going to chop it up after this because this is a damn good interview.
Oh, yeah.
The man is an interviewer. You can understand everything he's saying. You don't have to go crazy to just, what did he say? Let me put on closed captioning like I'm hearing it period. Oh, closed captioning don't even know what he said. This is what we got with Biden. It's craziness.
It's tougher. I think it's probably, in many ways, it's tougher on my family than is in me.
How's Melania doing?
She's fine, but I think it's very hard for her. I mean, she's fine, but it's, she has to read all this crap.
What about Barron? People started to focus on Barron recently.
He's amazing, actually, in a certain way. He's tall, good-looking guy. He's a very good student, and he's applied to colleges and gets into everywhere he goes. He's very sought after from the standpoint. He's a very smart guy. He's a very tall guy, but he's a great kid. He's cool. He's pretty cool, I'll tell you. It's very interesting though.
I like that. He's showing him respect as an actual adult too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I applaud him for that.
Yeah, he's cool, man. He's real, and I believe it, man. He looked like he cool. If you anything like your pops, I'd like to have a beer with Trump, man. Shit, I bet you'd be happy. For real, geez.
Yeah.
But Trump don't drink, do he?
I don't think so.
Don't drink.
And I'll tell you what else he's not doing is mounds of cocaine up his nose at the White House.
Off the residue. Well, now the residue desk.
Yep.
This is not the residue desk anymore.
That's another movie I got to go watch again. National Treasure.
Oh my gosh.
I know it's fiction, but it was still fun.
Oh my goodness. Idiocracy is one. Pour some of this energy drink on all the plants. We don't need no water.
That is a movie I have never seen.
Oh my gosh. It's just what it is. We're close. Oh my goodness, we're close to idiocracy. It is. We're close. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and finish him out. We got a few more seconds.
Colleges, 6 months ago, you look at a college and you sort of want a certain college, and then you see all of these colleges are rioting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And maybe you want to go to a different kind of a college, because there's plenty of colleges that we also like that are different, and they don't riot.
Shout out to Donald Trump.
Man, now he made me want to get back wearing suits again.
That's resolve at its finest. Somebody who got resolve. They ain't killing. They didn't deter him. He's gonna keep on going because number one, he ain't got no stopping him. Number two, y'all don't know what the hell y'all doing. You don't realize certain things in life cause a ripple effect. And that's what they're doing. They've been using the judicial system to try to interfere in an election, whether it be trying to take him off ballots using the legal system, to whether the Supreme Court, which I have confidence in the Supreme Court to squash all of this shit. Because if they say he has full immunity, I'm going to laugh my ass off. You just don't understand. I'm going to laugh my ass off. Because this case is going to have to go away.
Yeah, exactly. Immediately, because it's a sham.
It's going to have to go the fuck away and down the toilet stool where it belongs.
Exactly.
Jack Smith's case is going to have to go away. They're going to have to repeal the other damn thing with Letitia James.
I think the state of New York needs to be sanctioned. And I don't know what that looks like or how that goes about.
I believe that they are in severe dire straits when it comes to their mayor, all of their council people. They're in dire straits, man. They got people out there that are just not doing their job.
Well, I can't wait to see Trump flip Aox district red.
Woo!
Oh yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Because the thing about it is that you got your people who, he's guilty as hell, and they can't even explain what he's guilty of.
Oh. All they did was they heard Rachel Maddow say something while they were washing the dishes about Trump being guilty. That's what they know.
Right. And Rachel Maddow ain't talking about shit. She's another one that she was trying her best not to be too happy.
Yeah.
But you could see the giddy in her. You could see her eyes were dancing. I'm like, you motherfucker, you. Like, you are happier. You too damn happy. And laughing is catching. Joy Reid, ooh-wee.
I think we need to get Rachel Maddow and who's that other douchewagon on MSNBC? Andrew Cooper, right? Anderson Cooper, and E. Jean Carroll on The View to talk about the Trump trial.
Right.
That would be amazing. That would be enough material for us to do shows for a solid week.
Mm-hmm. To my Rumble people, the few that are in there, if it's anybody that want to come on the panel, you are welcome. I just put a link in the chat. So if you want to say something, how you feel, whether positive or negative, you like Trump, you don't like Trump, you think he's guilty as hell, you think you're not guilty, chime in. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, I would love to hear from somebody that thinks that this is the verdict.
Yes, I mean, I would love to. Even over here, if there's somebody in Lake Bushes.
Yeah, because I would just need to like.
If there's somebody that is in the bushes and they want us to understand where they're coming from when it comes to Trump, whether you think he's racist, whether you don't like the cut of his jib.
Man, I had to go through some pictures of Trump with Rosa Parks and Muhammad Ali, MJ, and I'm like, man, this man ain't no racist. Come on.
That's a narrative.
Yeah, the media just want to spin the narrative. The left, I mean.
The leftist media spins the narrative, man. Spins the narrative. And you got people that say, especially a lot of the black people that are on YouTube that I voted for Biden and I'm regretful of that, and now I'm for Trump and all of that. I just hope that, because look, I voted for Obama once.
Mm-hmm.
And for situations that are out of my control, I set the other one out. Because I realized what he was doing.
Yeah.
And the option wasn't too much better.
Yeah, and a lot of people started losing jobs under Obama.
Yeah.
I didn't vote for his stupid ass, but I was mildly optimistic when he became the president, and of course, sadly disappointed.
Right.
Yeah, and then when he got on his second term, he pushed the same-sex marriage thing, and that was on a Sunday. What a slap in the face that was.
Happy Pride Month, everybody. So you will celebrate the less than 2% of the American population who are whatever the hell they are.
Yeah.
Right. So, I look at that, I look at, they got us in these situations where they're trying to make us, they're taking holidays and they're flipping it into what they want it to be now. So what are you going to do the 4th of July now?
Yeah, and then you got Juneteenth, and they was telling us black folks can't celebrate 4th of July. I still do, because
who said that shit?
Oh man, you remember when they started that Juneteenth?
I don't celebrate Juneteenth.
Same.
Man, hey, where's my hayseed white dude month?
Yeah, let's have Trailer Park Tuesday or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, I want a month.
Yeah, they're trying to tell us we should not celebrate 4th of July because we weren't free on the 17th.
Like I said, divisive bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They weren't free.
Still aren't.
I'm free.
Yeah, not in their heads. They're not.
I'm free. Shit.
I love
fireworks.
To have the freedom of willingness to say how you feel.
Which is currently under grave attack and threat.
Yeah. Oh, it's already been threatened. It's in a headlock.
Yep.
It's almost hollering uncle. Okay, it's almost like okay, but we can't. That is the first thing that was written in the Constitution.
Yep. They don't look into that because a lot of, I love being black, half black, excuse me, but man, they be so damn ignorant.
People who are so anti-Trump, anti-this, anti-that, doesn't even know how and why the 3 branches of government were created. They don't even know when. George Washington was not the American president until 1789. 12 years after the Revolutionary War. And what people don't even realize even further, that all of the 13 colonies were all different countries.
Yep.
They don't realize all of that. They came together because they were getting beat down by the British with taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And cannot be able to afford anything.
There is a book out there.
And they never taught us this in school.
Yeah, not really.
I mean, it was just like a flash, boom, 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 George Washington, hero, president, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
They didn't dive deep into, different things. Like, and when the Constitution was derived, the very first thing.
Now, in fairness, all right, and let's all think back to our days in high school. If they sat there and tried to spoon feed us all of this information, we'd be back, our eyes would be rolled back in our heads. We'd be drooling out the sides of our faces and that sort of deal, because it is, just that interesting. And so, it's definitely something that should be taught at the university level, though.
But the question is, why is it so? It's so interesting to me.
Yeah, and to me, the university level is where you're supposed to get all different perspectives, and so and that's, I mean, if you're really going to look at hiring practices for universities and everything else, man, you really want to find those folks that are on different sides of the whole thing. You want to find your libertarian professors, your conservative professors, your liberal professors, all of that kind of stuff, so that they get to hear it all.
Right.
And they're not doing that.
Instead of being brainwashed and indoctrinated by going from leftist, communist, Marxist, fascist.
Yep. And so even if you get a bunch of libtards through your elementary and high school years and everything, the university or the college should be the place where, you get everything else and you start putting those things into perspective and figuring out, where you're at on those issues and that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
Because it's something that you're paying for, man,
Right.
Yeah, and I pray when Trump get in office that they start removing the Me Too movements from the courthouse.
Because that was another weaponization of government.
Yeah.
There was definitely another weaponization of the judicial system.
Yeah.
And like I said, we were in a place right now. People don't want to say it. People don't want to talk about it. But we are literally, I'm talking about, it could be days. It could be months. It could be a year from now, especially, God forbid, Joe Biden was to be voted back in. We are so close to civil war. It's not even fair. It could be a civil war and World War III going on at the same time.
Yeah, buddy.
At the same time. People don't even understand this.
Yep. And I think this country descending into chaos will be the precursor to World War III. Full blown. Here we go.
They're not paying attention. See, boom.
They got other fish to fry, so we can go ahead and act like a bunch of assholes. I want to be invaded. Yep.
All the race baiting, all the trying to pit people against each other. But see, the thing of it is that the economy ain't got no color.
Yeah. And hey, you know what's funny about that, Valiant Thor, is that Joe Biden is even more of a crook than Lyndon Johnson.
And Woodrow Wilson was even worse. He was passing the Jim Crow law. Yeah.
I also, and you know what, that act of 1963 was definitely at a detriment.
Oh, yeah.
Because to be honest, it was a twofold setup. What it did was it put a person in complete dependency on the government to give them $250 per child.
Yeah, I call it the baby daddy law.
And then you say that the man can't be in the home, so he doesn't have a chance in hell to make it right.
Yeah. It was all done by design.
Because not only did you give her a a stipend, he gave her a place to live too. And the
to do it all on her own.
right, the precursor to that, is or the I don't want to say precursor, but the condition of that is that no man can be in the home.
Yep.
So you remove the man from the home with his children. And if a man ain't got no home, he's going to try to find another one. Bam, here come baby number 2.
Mm-hmm. Then baby
she go get food stamps.
Cha-ching.
And then it'll be baby number 3, 4, 5, 6.
And if you're a working man, then the next thing you know, you're going to get a court subpoena for child support.
Yep.
What that does is it automatically puts a case on a man because it's a case number.
Yep. And we got nowadays is eight babies by 5 different fathers.
It's a reward for complete irresponsibility, but not really a reward because you got people that are sitting in that bullshit for years, decades.
Man, what a great Puppet Gate video that would make.
I promise you. It's women out here doing it for the kids so they can have the kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's women out here getting over $1,000 in food stamps and over $1,500 in cash benefit for kids that they don't even like. They really didn't even want.
Huh.
And the proof is in the pudding when they grow their ass up and become a teenager and become a piece of shit.
Man.
But the government does that. They pull the man out of home, pull a case, put a case on them. If anything happens, and they don't have a program to help a jobless man that owes child support, the program they got is lock him up and take his license. That kind of defeats the freaking purpose. Because you take his license, how you gonna get to work?
Exactly.
It's ridiculous. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Oh, he can't find a job. I'm not gonna help him. I'm gonna take his license so he can't get around to find a job. Wow. Absolute wow. And our government, the Democrats have been doing this for years. We're going to expand welfare. We're going to make sure that these women have, and then on top of all of that, if a female really figure out, oh, I don't want the kid, she can just go ahead and kill it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And remember when John F. Kennedy was trying to expose the plot, but they had to take him out.
He knew that bill wasn't shit.
Mm-hmm. And he was a Democrat too, which was a trip. He knew what they were on.
I'm past the handout game. You need a hand up.
Mm-hmm. They was like, because it's like, well, black folks, they're not smart enough.
I hate for black people to say they want Donald Trump back for a stimulus check.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
We need him back more than that.
That pisses me off, man. I don't need no damn stimulus check. I needed to be at work every day, getting my overtime, doing what the hell I was doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and YG recently came out and said, yeah, I like Trump because he was passing out money. I'm like, man, we worked for our money when Trump was in office.
Republican Abraham Lincoln got killed because the Democrats was pissed off because he freed the slaves.
Yes.
And he fucked with their money. They actually had to pay people.
Mm-hmm.
See, the Democrats implemented sharecropping.
Sure, no wonder why it's hard for me to get a job right now.
Man, it ain't easy.
Mm-mm.
I sit up and I look at all of this stuff, man. I can't understand sometimes how people can sit up here. Oh, well, Trump's a racist, and Trump is this, and Trump is that. Oh, He's guilty as hell, and you don't know a damn thing about what he's even been charged with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They just say he's guilty on 34 counts. What's the charge?
34 counts, and he only did a third of the shit.
You didn't do any of the shit.
He wrote the checks, and that's it. And there was nothing wrong with that.
I don't even think he wrote the checks. He has an accountant for that.
I mean, and I'm sure he has a stamp.
Mm-hmm. While
I'm sure that the man has a stamp of his name.
Yep, and while the left is too busy trying to bring in celebrities, that ain't working either.
But the right is gaining celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
You had Rob Schneider. What was it? What he was in a lot of Adam Sandler movies.
And just now, Aaron Rodgers, they dragged him through the mud for that.
Look, there's supposed to be two different sides of the spectrum, or even more than that, when it comes to who you choose or who you want to be a president. But you don't have the right as an American citizen to make somebody seem crazy because of their choice. The only reason why I say that the Dems are crazy is because they acting crazy. And
they're panicking big time. The liberals. Yeah.
I'm
kind of glad when I filed my DMV, because I'm trying to get my new ID. I switched parties from Democrats to Republican.
And it's just time. It's time.
Yep, and it's like throughout the years.
You got to do it.
Because throughout the years, man, when Trump was in office, I was staying out in Lancaster at the time, and I was seeing grocery prices were more reasonable. You was getting able to get Starbucks for a more reasonable price and stuff. It's like now, like I'm starting to see the difference in everything. I'm like, man, this stuff is high.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
It is. Ain't nothing to even say beyond that. So it was brought up to me recently. Well, of course, we have our wonderful rally that Donald Trump went to in the Bronx, and I'm still kind of on a high about that. I can't let nothing get me down when I know that he can make people move like that. And you see UFC, he needs to do an arena. He needs to pack some shit with about 50 to 60,000 people, where they can't deny it. In a bubble, if you will.
Yeah, the fake news is mad because they know what they fucked up on. And it's so funny that the View love Trump, but you got somebody, a dumbass like Sonny, whatever her last name is happy about it.
Of course she is, because she don't know shit. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and segue into something a little bit more relieving. And take it away, Puppygate.
Port Sleepy Joe and send him back to hell where he belongs.
Good evening. I'm Jake the Fake Tapper, and I have a resting bitch face. I'm here to make stuff up and lie to you all while having a mental breakdown. Donald Trump had a rally in the South Bronx, and it was all white people busted in from Nebraska because black people don't know how to get an ID. Plus, requiring an ID to vote is racist. Let's bring on our special guest, Kathy the Clown Hochul.
Right now we have, young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't know these things. And I'll tell you, it won't make a difference at all, Jake. And that is for Trump to be the ringleader of and invite all his clowns to a place like the Bronx. New York will never, ever support Donald Trump for president. So if he wants to spend his time doing these made-up fake rallies and pretending there's support here, be my guest. Because meanwhile, Joe Biden is holding rallies for a family of crickets.
Very insightful. I love how you just called half the country clowns. It's like a basket of deplorable Nazi clowns. Thank you, Kathy Hochul. Now let's watch some highlights from the Trump Bronx rally.
there's an aerial shot at the end of this little month. Look at that.
Forgiato Blow, the best rapper, MAGA rapper, the mayor of Magaville. You know how it goes. And this year, Sleepy Joe, you've got no chance. What do you got to say?
2024, baby. Help, 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 help. Hey, hey.
We're here in the South Bronx. We've got everybody representing. Make America great again.
It just looks so diverse, and it's defeating every fake narrative there is. Democrats are about to have a hard time in November because New Yorkers are waking up. Democrats have been getting our vote for decades. What has changed? I just don't see Republicans out here, but I definitely don't see Democrats doing anything. So I think Trump coming here, that's why he's an anomaly.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next president of the United States, President Donald J. Trump.
It doesn't matter whether you're black or brown or white or whatever the hell color you are, even orange. In America, the harder you work, the luckier you get. I want to talk about solving problems. This Crooked Joe is not getting the job done. He's failing miserably. Inflation has been sky high under Crooked, and I call it the invisible tax. When I was in office, we had a perfect number, 1.4. That's even better than 0. And on top of that, Sleepy Joe wants to raise income tax on everyone, even the middle class. He wants to give all your money to the illegals that haven't paid a dime into our system and to every other country. That's why we are going to have the biggest mass deportation in American history. We will even deport Sleepy Joe and send him back to hell where he belongs. I will lower the cost of gas. It's simple. We are going to drill, baby, drill. That's why everyone in the Bronx and New York has to vote for Trump to make America great again. Again. Thank you.
Mr. President, I want to join you in having the Bronx great again. Please accept this Democrat, this black Puerto Rican with a kinky hair and a broken English. Please accept my endorsement for you as a president. Thank you very much.
I think that was Diaz's real voice. With the broken English. Yeah. Shout out to Puppet Gate, man. They was out there in the trenches in the Bronx at the rally, man. You know, hey, you know, I wish I could have been there, you know, but I ain't nobody trying to go to New York. Shit. Damn. I'm sorry, y'all, but nobody want to go there. They ain't been there now. It's over with. The fantasy is over with. All right, so I believe that we have part 2 of our Trump interview. And we're going to go ahead and get to that. Yeah. So that we can get ready to, you know, after a while, we got to close out. Of course, you know that. But we're going to see what happens. I'm on early, so we'll see what happens.
In your presidency, what they've done to you, you've got the verdict that just came through. A lot of Democrats have expressed concern that if you're elected, you're going to want revenge. And some of your supporters have said, well, you know, mutually, you know, we're just talking about the weaponization of the justice system against political opponents. Some of your supporters have said, well, the only way to stop this is mutually assured destruction, right? If you do it to us, we're going to do it to you. You've said, no, my revenge is going to be success for America. You've just had this verdict. Do you still feel the same? What's your thoughts on that?
It's a really tough question in one way.
He's like, yeah. I don't know no more. I don't know no more. I don't even know no more. For real. Yep. I mean,
he was willing to let sleeping dogs lie, and now he's questioning that decision.
Like, I don't know. I might have to. They might have to get it. Good Lord, man. What did you guys do?
Because these are bad people. These people are sick. And they do things that are so destructive. I mean, look what they did from the day I got there. And I don't know, a lot of people said, we have no choice but to elect Trump. Republicans, because he's the only one that can withstand this. Don't forget, if it weren't me, they'd be going after somebody else. And I know a lot of the competition, they wouldn't do so well. They wouldn't be doing so well right now. They'd be saying, Mommy, take me home. I want to go home. This is brutal. But these are sick people. And for instance, the 51 intelligence agents, who thinks of these? And they think about it just like they say, I'm guilty of, and all this information was from so many years before the election. It's before the election. So
that's a great point, because you're talking about the intel agencies. Obviously, remember what Chuck Schumer said? He said, if you tick off the intel agencies, they'll find a way to get you 6 ways Sunday. If you're elected, are you going to reform the intel community? What exactly are you going to do to make sure they don't target Americans like this?
Well, first of all, if you remember, when I took over, we had a guy named Comey. He was there. I didn't put him there. I didn't want him there. I thought he was terrible, actually. And he tried to get me, and I reversed it on him. Some people said he cost Hillary the election, and he didn't want to. But he was a bad guy, not a capable guy, an evil guy. They were doing things that, I won't mention here because it's so conspiratorial. I don't want to be conspiratorial. It's too nice a show. But bad guy. I fired him. Then I fired Strzok and Page and this one and that one. I got rid of that whole group of people, and we were doing great. Look, it's a very interesting question, and I say it and it sounds beautiful, right? My revenge will be success, and I mean that. But it's awfully hard when you see what they've done. These people are so evil. And at the same time, the country can come together. I'm saying this, but the country can come together. During my term, prior to COVID, we had the most successful country we've ever had.
I want to follow up on what Rachel asked you, though, because I hear you struggling with it. I hear you say it's a tough question, a bit unsure. You famously said regarding Hillary Clinton, lock her up. You declined to do that as president.
I beat her. It's easier when you win. And they all said lock her up. And I felt, and I could have done it, but I felt it would have been a terrible thing. And then this happened to me. And so I may feel differently about it. I can't tell you, I'm not sure I can answer the question. Hillary Clinton, I didn't say lock her up, but the people would all say lock her up, lock her up. Okay. Then we won. And I said pretty openly, I say, all right, come on, just relax. Let's go. We got to make our country great.
Yeah.
And it would have been, think of
Hillary was not a priority. That makes sense. She's not a priority. What are we doing? Why are you making this man such a priority in your life? Even when he was sitting there, not the president, he was still, you all were on vengeance, and then you projecting it on him. It's crazy. Crazy as hell. Nisimo, what's up?
Hey, baby. Hey, Noobs.
What's going on?
Nothing much. How you guys doing?
Oh, man, we hanging out, man. We are going through a second part of Donald Trump's wonderful interview on Fox and Friends.
Hey, Miss Nisimo.
Oh, hey, sweetie. How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm just, like positive right now.
You feeling like the rest of us feeling right now?
Yeah.
I don't know. This man give me hope, man. For real. Tell you. Just listen to this.
Just let me make this chicken and stuff real quick. I'll be back in.
Level of resolve. What I'm saying here. That resolve can only come from one place.
Only God, baby.
That's peace be still right there, right in your face.
You better hear. Hey, Master, the tempest is raging.
Nothing. He's not. He's telling it like it T-I-Z. Okay. Serious.
And now we can see. And I think I shared this with you before, recently. Now I can see. Where Rob is finding that peace that surpasses all understanding in the midst of the storm.
You got to. You have to.
Because if I can honestly say, as he stated, had I been walking in those shoes, it would have been Mama. And Mama is nowhere to be found.
Right.
They don't care about you calling Mama. They don't care about you calling whoever. These are some wicked people that we're dealing with.
I'm telling you. So
and
Trump,
wicked begot wicked.
A couple times in this interview, about how evil and wicked these people are.
Yeah, these are some wicked individuals. I'm telling you, and it's gonna get worse than get better. We're gonna see that devil rise up, and as I told you guys before, the first sign was when we saw that first eclipse. Yeah, mark my word.
All right, let's keep on with Trump real quick, y'all. We're gonna keep that rolling.
You lock up the wife of a president of the United States.
They want to lock you up over $130,000 of an accounting thing, and she
a perfectly stated accounting thing. But you know, people also say, "Can you bring the country together?" And the answer is yes. Success will bring the country together because I had it together before the China virus came in.
Tell it like it is, the China virus. Let's go.
I had it together. We really had it together, and it would have stayed. I think it would have stayed. Everybody was doing better. The country was doing better than it had ever done. And we're going back to those same policies and then some.
Americans have lost a lot of trust in institutions, and I think there's been a lot of discussion, especially online and especially with young people. How do we rebuild that trust in institutions?
They don't trust Biden. They trust Trump.
Well, the institution itself is.
They don't trust Biden and whatever the Biden institution and the government got to point out or put to the people. That's what they don't trust. So you can't sit there and say the young people don't trust Trump. They trust Trump.
She didn't say that. She didn't say that. She didn't say that. We're gonna go back because she didn't say that. You got, they've been calling it down.
We had it together. We really had it together, and it would have stayed. I think it would have stayed. Everybody was doing better. The country was doing better than it had ever done. And we're going back to those same policies and then some.
Americans have lost a lot of trust in institutions, and I think there's been a lot of discussion, especially.
So she said they lost a lot of trust in institutions.
Institutions. Especially with young people. How do we rebuild that trust in institutions? The CIA, the FBI, all those institutions.
You're right.
Some people think that one way to build trust is to declassify things that everyone's talking about. I know you talked earlier about, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. So if you were president, would you declassify, you can answer yes or no to these. Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
Attorney General.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about
how he declassified them Epstein files.
So that means that Rob is on his way where?
To the house.
To the
Man, come on, man. Like, come on. I'm like,
because we know they set that man out to get him. And I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna have to go out on a limb and say it because I know people gonna feel what they feel, how they feel when it comes to Epstein. If you going after Epstein, and we literally heard y'all say that they could not go after any of the elites names that's in that book.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big problem right there.
Yeah, declassify that, Trump. You get in there, do declassify that on day one.
Day one.
Give us something to talk about. Like, ooh, they was on the list. Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. He was saying it already, but they was trying to shut him up.
Oh, that's crazy. That is so crazy. Let's keep it moving.
How you fix the DOJ, how you bring justice back to this country. When we talk to people, people's faith in the system is shattered. Yeah. I mean, absolutely shattered. We've seen it in your fundraising. So who do you choose? What kind? Do you have a name that you're top on your list?
I do have a couple, and one in particular. But I made a lot of good choices. I got that one wrong. I was very loyal to one because
Biden said he ain't never did nothing wrong. This man literally just admitted I made a mistake.
And I know what he's talking about. He's talking about what's that dude name? What's his name? He was over the what's his name? I can see his face right now. What's his name, noob?
Who?
The fat, kind of little fat dude.
Attorney
he was
General? What is it, Attorney General?
I think it was Attorney General. What's his name? Barr. William Barr.
Oh yeah, he was a sucker.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man. What's going on, Lex? How you feeling, man? Off up in here, not doing the replay game. Okay, yeah. Good to see you. If you see the link, then pop in for a hot sec.
He was the first senator to endorse me. As soon as conflict came up, he ran for the hills. And actually, the second one, he ran for the hills. When he heard that he was going to be impeached, they were going to impeach him. And he was like a different person. I had to get rid of him. And I would say that was the one thing. One of the truly important positions is Attorney General. And I was very disappointed at both of those Attorney Generals. Jeff Sessions was, I don't blame myself too much. He was some position in Alabama, and he wanted to be so bad. And he was the first senator to endorse me. And again, I was sort of a civilian. I didn't have a lot of people. I didn't know that many senators. And he went to a rally in Mobile. The fact is that we had 72,000 people, so it wasn't that big a shot. But he came to me and he said, I'd love to be Attorney General. And I didn't see it. And then he came 3-4 times, and I said, just out of loyalty, I did it. And he ran for the hills because it's nasty. This is a nasty business. This is a nasty world.
Yeah, how do you find
and
these
Barr?
steel-spined people
I know
in the future?
Barr was threatened. In all fairness to him, he didn't want to. He was Attorney General. He was a respected guy, and they said they were going to impeach him. I understand that. I said I got impeached twice, and my numbers went up, which is unusual. I said, it's not so bad to be impeached. What are they going to impeach you? He had no idea what they were going to impeach. But he was going to be impeached. They didn't know what. They didn't know why. It's like they took me to trial. There's no crime. They were trying to devise the crime during the trial. That's how bad it was. But with Barr, and he let me down.
Well, what that sound like? You building the crime as you go.
You building while he's inside as the president. So why the hell are we sitting here deciding? Well, we got to sit here and call it ace a spade a spade. I'm sorry, they sitting there doing the same thing to Biden as we speak. I mean, I heard the people doing the impeachment process. They's doing this crap to him as we speak.
And that the Congress want to talk to Alvin Bragg.
Wow.
Which, to me, doesn't seem like much of a threat considering, their past record of, strongly worded letters.
Man, because I'm like, send out that bench warrant.
Well, yeah, I don't even know how you're going to do that with the DOJ that won't enforce it.
And you know what? This is the same thing they did to R. Kelly. When they held him up, they didn't have no crime, no charges built up.
They kept him locked up while they built up a crime around YouTube.
And then you got Don Russell pinning that RICO on him.
Yep.
And knowing he lying. And I'll sit here and I hope he listening. Dude, I've had numerous conversations with you, and you lied on this man.
Exactly.
I even stood with you when I knew you was lying, and you had tried to contact Mr. Cosby and tried to lie to him. And he didn't want to hear from you no more. Y'all a piece of all of you. Let me tell y'all something. What I did find out, there was 2 people that Rob called friends were working with the government.
I know one of them.
And you better rest assured, Donald Trump got somebody that right there connected to him is working with these people.
I promise you.
It's some dirty people. They dirty.
And Trump got some stuff on all those people.
On every last one of them. That's
Lisa
why
Van
they
Allen,
put that stuff in his house.
Faith Rogers, the Savages, everybody.
And they would not allow Rob all of his stuff to be entered into the trial. And same thing they did to Donald Trump. They wouldn't allow his information to be entered in, but the government could enter their information in. Donald Trump, please hear me. Go get that man out of jail.
Please.
Get his ass up out of there.
And make him, and if you can make anything, you can make him trust me. People sitting here saying he can't do this and he can't do that. He can do a whole lot what you think he can't do.
He could be an ambassador.
Shit. I know he know how to pray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go ahead and keep
Donald Trump is the only one that can get R. Kelly out.
He's the only one that probably will. Shit. Let's go ahead and keep it moving real quick.
Let me down. He let down our country. He endorsed me the other day, as you saw, right? But he let down our country. It takes a brave person.
Who he said Barb endorsed him?
They don't want to be indicted by these scoundrels who are much more evil than people. I'm telling you, China and Russia, they're not the problem. We have a problem from within that's really bad. So he let us down. The key to really good government, where we had like Lighthizer and some of these people that were really good, it's the person that's at the top. If you get the right person, it's like magic. It's like in real estate, you know, you put a good super in a building, the building runs well. You put a bad one in, it doesn't. It's the same thing at a little bit slightly larger scale. But we had great people. I rebuilt the military. We did things that were amazing. One of the things that the people that watch your show should know, we defeated ISIS quickly. I was told it would take 5 years. I did it in
You know what
weeks.
The problem is? And they're going to have to address it. They may not want to. But the biggest problem that he's going to have and anyone like him going to have is this LGBTQRS community.
Yeah. And it's that time of the month.
Because that's what's running this country right
It's
now.
that time of the month.
What do you say, y'all? He said that time of the month.
The fake menstrual cycle.
Yep. Everybody needs a tampon up their butt.
Barack Obama is a true communism.
Say it again for the people in the back of the bus.
And Barack Obama is a true communism.
Yeah, he's the OG.
He's a curse on this nation.
Yep.
So you hot like fire over there, Yellow Beezy. Okay, let's keep moving.
Fast. And they did it fantastically. And I got to know the real fighting generals. There's not woke in the military. There's woke at the top. They want there to be woke. But these guys aren't meant for woke.
Are you going to fire those generals? The woke generals at the top?
Yes, I would.
Yes.
Woo! Get rid of them, yeah. But see, now I know him. I didn't know him before.
Yeah, because he's bringing in news and dairy.
New York real estate person, but no, I'd fire him. I would fire them. You can't have woke military. You said it's so great. You know, you need people that want to win. They want to win wars. That's what their purpose is, to win wars, not to be woke. But we do have great military. You look at what we did. Look at I was the only one in 78 years or something. I didn't start any wars. I finished wars. I got out of Syria. I took our soldiers home. I would have moved a lot of them out of Germany. You know, I was going to move them out of Germany. Not all of them, but I would have moved. We have 45,000. So that's like, you know what we do by doing that? We're giving Germany this massive shot in the arm, and then they don't treat us well on trade. But we have a great military, and there's nothing woke about it other than those top guys. I used to watch Milley sit there in Congress and talk about, you know, he's trying to understand this and that mind. I won't get into it, but certain minds, I say, is this guy crazy? But it's one of those things. I've gotten to know a lot of the generals because of the things we did. And we had some unbelievable wins, as you know. We had some wins with terrorists, the biggest terrorists, the two biggest terrorists in the world ever, I took out. You know, so we had some, we have some great things planned. It's very important, the people that run the agencies, if you get the good ones, and I think I have great ones slated, but if you get the good ones, it's like magic. And we had mostly good ones. You think more about the bad ones. We had some bad ones too.
There's so much in there. I mean, when I'm...
They said up there, they said that man talked to them for an hour and a half. We've only heard 20 minutes of this shit.
Wow.
And he's giving everything.
And he ain't gave everything, dude, because he got a whole lot that he's ready to drop the hammer on.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where we just have to understand, because we get into closing time here. We got about 8 more minutes. we're getting to a precipice in our country. We're cresting right now.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
And we at a crossroads.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna sink or swim?
One of them got full-fledged wheelchair access, and one is going to shoot us into where we need to be as a country and as people thriving in our country, not surviving.
Mm. Mm.
So either we go, cripple down the road to World War III with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and Karine Stephens and AOC and what's his nuts in California, Gavin Newsom.
Fuck
and
him.
that idiot lady out there, Hochul in New York.
Man,
The
fuck
View,
Excuse my
MSNBC and CNN, or we can sit here and we can actually do something about this shit. I don't give a crap about how Donald Trump talks, how Donald Trump walks, what he thinks about in his spare time, whose finger he got, where his fingers go when the doors close. I don't care.
That's his business.
When he get his ass up for work in the morning, is he doing a good job?
And I can't wait to vote for him, and I'll be damn proud of it, and I'll do it again.
I mean, I'm chomping at the bit. Like, I can't wait to go. I'm Trump shirt and all. Trump hat and all. I'm gone. I'm sorry. I'm gonna start wearing me. I'm gonna find me a black and white MAGA hat that I can rock this summer. I want it. I need it. I gotta have it.
Yeah, I need to find one too.
Yeah.
We're going to y'all do understand that we're gonna have to be the ones to do the campaigning, because y'all know these people is up to something.
If they decide that the right thing to do in their mind is to put this man in jail, they are going to cause some serious problems for the nation. They are going to cause an uprising. Seriously.
We better start now. We better start now.
They're going to start an uprising. They're trying to take weapons away from people, disarm the American people, so they can
They can't come to Texas with that. I'm sorry. They're not. Texas gonna take them to the where they belong, because they're gonna go see their master before time.
So we have to stay aware. We got to stay alert. You know what I'm saying? That in the military, stay alert, stay alive.
Now, on a positive, proactive note, you can go to any of the Donald Trump donation websites, and if you scroll down to the bottom, you can put in your information and volunteer to either go knock on doors or to watch polls or do any of that stuff. So they take all of the hard work out of it for you. You can put your information in on Donald Trump's website, and somebody will contact you with your next step and what you need to do. And so it's really easy.
Well, I'm on board. I'm going to definitely do it tonight.
Yep. And when I get paid, I'm going to donate.
So you can make a donation to the website I just posted up there as well, DonaldJTrump.com.
He got my money worth.
And I'm talking about $5, $10, whatever you got. Because we at a point, man, where we need to see, we need to show them.
Yep. And you don't need to donate anything. You can go to his site and like I said, put in your information.
Yeah, just sign up
and
to work
donate
and
your time. Yeah.
They're going to try to rig it.
Oh, absolutely. That goes without saying.
They're going to try to rig it.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody coming up there with more broken English than Diaz talking about they want to vote. The hell? Hey, where your idea? Shit. How long you been here? Shit. Last year, no. What's your birthday? January 1st. Oh, hell no.
Do you know what a computer is?
Straight up, man. I mean, this is where we are, man. It's time to fight for our right to party, man. Straight up. We got to really get into what we need to do seriously. So We finna get up out of here, but I need for y'all to kick this. Just hang on with me after the live is over, okay? Everybody agree? Everybody cool with that?
Yeah. Yep. And the only thing that I got before we completely tune out is that everybody that is here in the chat and everybody that is here in the panel, I want to ask everybody to pay close attention to your news sources, whatever those may be this week, and bring me something on what? When's our next show, Derek? Is it tomorrow?
It can be.
Okay, well, let's say Wednesday then. Bring me something on Wednesday that I do not already know. And this is concerning, Trump, politics, R. Kelly, whatever. Bring me something that I don't already know.
Oh shit, buddy. Yeah. I like challenge. Shit, dude.
Well, that means you're gonna have to dig because y'all know that I do. And so you're gonna have to dig.
You probably know about R. Kelly's career from the inception on up to the end.
And the piece that I will admit that I'm weak on is remembering all of the names of the players.
Yeah.
I remember the specific events.
Speaking of always remember Don Russell.
And what I really like about that news is the fact that you're not an R. Kelly fan.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because your view is so objective. And you can break it down, from the middle road.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Which is long overdue, which is something that people need, because when you go down the middle, you tend to come out right. And
exactly.
In Trump's first presidency, I was down the middle. And I was just looking at the way things was happening. I'm like, okay, life is okay. I'm not tripping. I'm good to go. Biden get in when COVID hits. That wasn't bad. Gas prices went up a bit. You couldn't go outside. But when Biden got his ass in that office the same day, the gas prices went up $1.
And what's funny about all of that is that during Trump's presidency, when everybody was just, bitching about Trump and howling at the moon and everything else, I remember the memes, with the little yellow dog that's sitting at the table and everything, and the sun shining in the window, and he's just like, oh, this is fine, and then it shows what happened before his presidency, and the whole place was burning and everything, and the same yellow dog is just sitting there going, oh yeah, this is fine.
Mm-hmm. Crazy shit, man.
I was down with him from day one, and I'm going to be down with him until the end, because at the end of the day, I don't roll the way people tell me to roll. I roll how God tell me to roll.
Right.
And God has not led me wrong yet.
And you know what's crazy? I'm not saying that I was not rolling with him. What I say is I was, with caution with anybody. And when I'm listening to him, he might have said too much there for people who don't understand. But I respect his right to say it, because I know people in their 70s. My mama's 74. She's very unapologetic about
and gonna say what she got to say, and don't care who don't like it.
If you look back, anytime you get in a certain age, that's what it is. But I love his unapologetic nature when it comes to telling the truth. The issue that people have is they can't handle the truth.
Well, the issue I see, they want to add to and take away, because nowhere have I heard, and maybe I don't know where I would have missed it. That man have never said anything that would make me believe that he's racist.
Right. Absolutely, 100%. It hasn't. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap for the night. Everybody in the chat and everybody who's watching on Rumble, on X, on YouTube, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We got a private thing we got to do here for a few minutes.
Can everyone please share?
We have 415 subscribers, man. We got 85 more to get. Share it. Tell your friends just to like it. Like it, subscribe to it. Hit notification bell so you can know. The only reason why we're not out there like we are, because people will sit here and watch all day, all night, and won't like it. They won't share it. and they won't subscribe. You know, we got to get the algorithms up, man, because we're fighting against a system that's trying to shadow ban and block us all for the opinion that I'm expressing right now.
So let me ask you this here, Derek: Is it does it cost to join the Trump website?
I don't think so.
Okay, because remember he has a site that I think it's the same as YouTube.
Yeah.
He does have a YouTube site. Yes, if that's what you're asking. And no, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe to his YouTube channel.
Well, I thought he had something that was like the YouTube that you can. It's like the it's like YouTube, like
Truth Social.
Kind of like that. But he's actually working on. They're working on. His people are working on doing live streams through Truth Social.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
That's going to be where it's going to be sweet.
Ooh, baby. I can't wait. Can't wait.
Oh, and here's a little fun fact that I got from Tim Pool's show. In the 24 hours after the verdict was released, the search term on Google for donate to Trump exceeded boobs.
Shit.
By a large margin. So there were more searches for donations for Donald Trump than there were boobs for 24 hours after the verdict was released.
And it crashed. He said the donations site crashed.
It crashed right after the verdict.
Yeah, it crashed.
It worked all right for me because I donated.
It worked out right for me too.
Yes, it worked for me too. But I'm like, it crashed right after the verdict, man.
Yeah. And
make sure that if you can, donate, man. Donate to something that you believe in. You know, hey, donate, man. You know, this is not about me. It's not about noobs. It's not about Yellow Beezy. It's not about Nisimo, man. We're fighting for us all. You know, and for those who feel a certain way about one person that we're talking about and feel another way about another person we're talking about, I need you to sit back and just think about what we talk about. It can't be right for one person and wrong for another.
I'm sorry, and you got the same person is the reason why this man has actually been really indicted, because it's the same man that got Rob indicted, got this man indicted.
Yeah, I'll nutty.
Michael Avenante.
Right. So we're gonna get out of here. We 5 minutes over our thing here. Like I said, I appreciate all y'all. Y'all three hang around, and we're gonna go ahead and close out the show. I appreciate y'all, Lex, Kilroy Girl. I appreciate Donna, Valiant Thor. You know, Noob's been in the chat hanging out. Unconditional love. You know it's unconditional. You know, ain't nothing changed, girl. Yes. You know, I want to send a shout out to Donna, and that is pretty much it. That's all. I love y'all. We're gonna catch you if something spectacular happens tomorrow, which I got a funny feeling that this news trend ain't really gonna stop. So I say look for me on Wednesday, but if I pull up early, come on in. How about it?
I'll definitely be here. That's for sure.
You know, come on in. Come on in. If I pop on, y'all pop on, because I need to. You know, it may be something really, really serious. So
hey, let me fix my pop something real quick. It's gonna be fast.
No problem, man. I appreciate y'all out here, and y'all enjoy y'all night. Get ready for another week, and be strong and get your money. And we are out of here.
How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we start up the movement? How long we gon' keep letting them do us? How long before we say fuck this beat shit and grab them clappers? How long before we lose our voices shouting Black Lives Matter? How long we gon' keep letting them disrespect our president? How long we gon' keep letting them terrorize our residents? I'm sick of this shit. It's word to Bernie Mac. How long before we police ourselves, take our own streets back? How long for Uncle Tom here and hate on this shit? How long before they take a shot at me for making this shit? How long I gotta wait for justice for Josiah Shaw? How long we gotta fake it till we can take it and whack 'em all? How long we not gonna make these youngers pull their pants up? How long we gonna keep letting them shoot us down with our hands up? How long we gonna keep killing our own and making these streets hot? How long will what I say to you stay with you when the beats stop? How long's your attention span? How long you watch the news? You ain't down to shake shit up with the rebels for the cause? I ain't talking to you.